Hey darlings, welcome back to my channel. My name is Isabel Omahi, and if you're new here, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Do give this video a huge thumbs up and do not forget to drop your comment down below. Love you guys. Hey guys, so today I created an Igbo inspired bridal look on this gorgeous model, and if you'd love to see how I created this look, please do keep watching this video. So I started by spraying her face with the baduscue spray. It's a hydrating spray, so I went all over her face with it, and then I went over with this Cosrx hydrator. Is the snail motion hydrator, and I applied this all over her face, her neck, a little bit on her chest areas. It just helps to hydrate and make the skin plump. Going over with this Neutrogena Hydro Boost moisturizer. I actually love this moisturizer because it's very hydrating. I applied it all over the skin, and I actually did a little bit of a massage on her face and her neck, and I just blended it. So guys, I'm working alongside TJ Originals, that's the hairstylist, and TJ and I actually had to blend in and do this look together. He had to keep doing the hair while I had to keep doing the makeup because there was actually no time. We were actually so late for this shoot. I started this makeup like 3 p.m. and we had to be done with this whole look before 5, so like we had to just work together. So I'm applying the primer, and this primer is the Becca primer. It's a mattifying primer. I applied it on just the T-zones, and now I'm going over with the Dose of Color foundation in 127 medium and caramel in NYX Born to Glow foundation. I just mixed those two colors and got the perfect match for her. She did not need so much of a full coverage because she has such a lovely skin, so medium coverage was best. And I actually love the way this foundation looked on her. It didn't feel cakey at all. It looked so beautiful and just like second skin. And this match, like, this is such an awesome match for her. I absolutely loved it. The foundation was giving, skin was skinning, blend was blending. You guys, I don't know what to say again. Loved it. I went over, blended with my White Glam Beauty blender, made sure everything was sitting in perfectly before going over and using the same NYX Born to Glow foundation. This is in the shade Mahogany, and I'm using this to do kind of like a warmth, not a contour. I'm just kind of bringing back warmth to the face. So this is just giving like a little bit of a reddish tint, and it's just going to be warming up her skin. And I'll also be applying that on the nose. I don't want to do a drastic contour, just a little bit of contour on her nose, so I use that shade also for her nose and the side of her face, and also a little bit on her jawline and her forehead. So right now I'm going over with concealer, and for concealer I am using Too Faced Born This Way concealer in golden beige, and I'm just going to be applying it under her eyes, the middle of her nose, sides of her lips and her jaw, and a bit on her forehead also. So I will just apply that strategically, and I'll just let it sit for a bit while I actually go over and apply the liquid blush. So for liquid blush, I will be using my iMagic palette, and I'll be using that peachish stroke pinkish shade, and that is what I'll be applying on her cheek as my liquid blush or cream blush. I applied a little bit on her nose also, and a bit on her forehead. And I'm going over with my White Glam Beauty blender, and I'm just blending that, making sure it sits perfectly. And after blending that properly, I would also go ahead and blend the concealer I applied I actually let the concealer sit a bit just to give it a little bit more coverage. And also when blending, if it sits for a bit, it makes it easier because it gets a little bit tacky. So I took my time and blend. After blending till my satisfaction, I went ahead and I sprayed her face. So I went ahead and I used the Kiss Beauty pink setting spray. I sprayed all over her face to help let the foundation and concealer settle properly. And now I'm going with my Laura Mercier setting powder. This is translucent, and I'm just applying it with that brush strategically on every part of her face I applied concealer on, and I'm just using this to set. So for setting, I'm just going to be using a little bit of powder. First of all, I am not going in with a lot of powder. I'm just using a bit just to make sure it's properly set. I will be doing a bit on her nose too. Take my time and make sure the face is properly set, and then I could actually go ahead and bake if I want. After setting the face, I'm going to use the MAC mineralized powder in dark tip, and I'll be using this as a bronzer. So I'll be using this on the side of her face. On all the parts I actually use that foundation to give warmth, I'll be bringing back those warmths also with this powder. Her forehead, sides of her face, her jawline, her nose. I will be using this to set it properly. After doing this, I went ahead with a blush from the Morphe palette. It's a trailblazer palette, and I used that first shade of blush. It's kind of a light pink but not so pinkish. Yeah, so that's what I used as blush on over her cheek. You guys, I am so sorry. I thought I was recording the eyeshadow process. I do not know what happened, but I checked my camera and I wasn't filming, and I was so hurt because I really wanted to show you guys the whole process. So I used the Rona the 7th Bridal palette, and the pink shade I applied it from that palette. There's a pink shade there. It's the shimmery pink shade. I just applied it all over the lid, and the shade I'm using right now that I applied on the crease is like a purplish plum shade from that palette, and I just applied it all over the crease, and also used a little bit of a dark brown on the outer corner of the eyes, and I just blended it to the outer corner, just dragged it out a bit. So right now I am applying Gatsby from Peaches and Cream. That's a pigment in Peaches and Cream pigment in Gatsby. It's kind of like a champagne pigment, so I just put it all over the lid on top of that pink. Because I kind of wanted pink, but I did not want it to be too pink, so I was just like, what do I add to this so it doesn't really look pink, but I still wanted to look pink because she was actually going to be wearing a pink dress, but I didn't want it to be overly pink. So immediately I put the champagne on top of it. I was like, yes. So this just subdued the pink-ish look and just made it less pink, but you know, you can still see the pink because it's still creeping in from behind. So yes, I loved it. It was actually what I wanted and what I was going for, even without knowing that this was what I was going for. You guys, that's the magic of makeup. You have something in your head, you don't know how it's going to come out, but somehow it might even come out better than you expected. Right now I'm lining with my Inglot gel liner in 77. This liner has actually dried. I need to get another one. Yes, so I'm struggling a bit with it because it's kind of a bit dry. But after lining with this, I also went over with my NYX Epic liquid liner and I lined on top of it just to make it a lot more cleaner. Yes, a lot cleaner and a lot better. So yes, it looks more seamless after I applied it. I applied the NYX liner on top of it, and actually even darker. So I love the application of the both of them. After lining the top of the eyes, I also went under her eyes and I lined with the Mabrook pencil. After doing that, I went in with the Zara 4-in-1 mascara, did my mascara. I actually smoked under the eyes with the black from that palette. I smoked that black liner I did with the Mabrook pencil. Smoked that, and you know, the eyes looked way better after smoking it. And then I used my concealer and I just cleaned up the excess and the liner. I just cleaned up the liner, make sure it looked a lot more straighter and made the eyes look a lot more better. So right now I'm using my lashes. This lashes is from Rubylite. It is actually really such a beautiful full lashes, and I actually loved it for this look and for her eyes. So guys, I went ahead and dusted off the baking with my powder. The powder I used was tilbury powder in O2, and after that I applied this blush. This blush is from Beauty Creation, in my favorite. It's such a beautiful pink shade, so beautiful. It's literally my favorite, as the name says. So I'm going in with highlighter, and I'm using Pearl in the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter, and I'm just going to be using this liquid highlight on her cheek, and I would not be using a powder highlight on her cheek. I just wanted that part to just be glowy, like it's glowing from within, so I do not want to powder it down or make it look harsh or give that highlighter effect. I feel like I'm actually outgrowing my highlighter phase. So yeah, I mostly would do highlighter on the nose, but on the cheek I'm kind of like a little bit skeptical about doing highlighter there. I feel like I'm outgrowing it. On my face I do not like it anymore, but on client's face I'm outgrowing it. I feel like that's what's happening. So very soon I might stop doing it on the cheek. Absolutely stop doing it. I did mascara under her eyes for her under eyelashes, sprayed the face, and right now I am lining her lips with the Ronald VII lip stain. This is in Spouse. It's such a beautiful brown, purplish brown shade, and I absolutely loved it. I used this, and then I went over with this Dose of Colors lip stain. This is in Truffle. Such a beautiful natural pinky shade. So I applied this and I blended the both colors together. Took my time, blended, and then I applied a little bit of a white color from my Eye Magic palette in the middle of her lip, just to make the middle pop a bit, and then I blended out properly. And after that I went ahead and applied gloss. This gloss is also from the Ronald VII collection, Bridal collection. This is in Baquette. This is such a beautiful gloss. I absolutely loved it. I have reviewed this now the 7th product on my channel. You guys, you can check my post, the Valentine's Day post. I reviewed this. So for her body I used a body glue from Royal Body Glue. So yes guys, this is the final look. I hope you loved this look as much as I did. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, drop a comment down below, and give this video a huge thumbs up. Until my next video, love you all, bye bye.